Alright, good evening everybody. Welcome to the V-Speed Contender Series, brought to you by Nitro Racing Setups, FRT Motorsports, and NEPA Towing. Tonight takes us to Homestead Miami Speedway. Homestead's, I guess from a NASCAR standpoint, one of the more relatively newer tracks. The facility was pretty much started into production in '91. Then we had Hurricane Andrew that kind of opened up the property for it, and it has now come to be one of the favorite tracks that a lot of people like to drive. It's a little challenging, has a couple grooves, has a couple different layouts. It's been primarily NASCAR for the most part, but it has seen some IndyCar and some FIT GT Championship racing here. So of course it is, as you can see, about a mile and a half, not quite a mile and a half. Tonight track temp's about 105 degrees. It's not too bad. Not as warm as it is normally sometimes. Of course, being Miami, got a little bit of humidity out there and about a 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing. So, gonna be some good racing tonight. We're getting close to the end of the season here. We got 3 more races left. Tonight, then next week we'll have Martinsville, and then the week after that we'll have Phoenix, which will be the championship decider. Now last week at Iowa Speedway, another one of the more favorite tracks for some of these drivers. Amazing race, went green the entire race. So that was amazing. We had 4 different lead changes with 4 different leaders, but in the end, Bailey Dutton would see his second win of the season. Teammate Nick Hulslander would round up second place, and rounding out the podium would be Anthony Promoda, which of course was one of our series champions from a couple seasons ago. Our current points leader, Channing Ballou, was in 4th. Ryan Lang was in 5th. Hunter Kent was in 6th. Richard Malagani was in 7th. Jimmy Babb was in 8th. Joe Zader in 9th. And Mr. Russ Bovair round out the top 10. So we got a couple good races for the championship going on. There's actual battles all over through the field. So we got a really tight battle with the top 2 cars. So Channing Ballou coming in tonight has a 7-point lead over Bailey Dutton. So Bailey's surge here in the last few weeks and the consistency he's had all season long has definitely led to his being in the position that he is in. Also, newcomer Hunter Kent, he's right there at 350 points, so he's about 30 points back, almost 40 points back from the leader. But then you come down to Ryan Lang and Jimmy Babb, 4th and 5th. Their consistency has also put them in the top 10. So Ryan Lang's coming in at 313 points, and Jimmy's only 11 points behind him. So it doesn't take a whole lot of racing incidents or situations to make up that little bit of difference. Now right behind them is Nick Hulslander. Now Nick's finished up front a lot, but he's also missed a couple races. He's only made 8 races, so he's made almost 4 less races than or 5 less races than everybody else, and is still in 6th place in points. Then you drop down to 7th place. We have Timmy Logwood. He's about about 130 out of the lead, but he's about 30 points behind Nick. So there's probably, again, anything can happen, but there's probably not a lot of danger in that position. But then you have Russ Bobert in 8th and Rachel Hunt in 9th. They're only separated by 10 points. Then just 10 points behind them is Richard Malagani. 12 points behind them is Todd Cray. And Brinson Hunt. Todd Cray and Brinson Hunt are actually tied for 11th and 12th. And then just 3 points behind them is Logan Kais. So there's the ability to change positions in the championship very easily. So a lot of battles going on. So we will see how these guys do tonight. Of course, with Homestead being one of the more favorite tracks, it's a little more than wide open and turning left. It does take a little bit of skill to drive this track. You do have to actually drive it, get off the gas, get back on it. So take some tire management, some fuel strategy. It all depends on how the evening goes with cautions. As we've seen last week, these guys can run an amazing race and not have any cautions. So I don't really expect there to be any cautions or very few cautions tonight. So right now we probably should still have a 30 plus field truck race tonight. Looks like everybody's kind of getting into it. Like I said, everybody likes Homestead, so I'm sure this is going to be a popular race. It's also been pretty decent in the official races this week as well. So right now we have Jordan Martin top the speed charts there. Channing Ballou up front as always. Same with Hunter Kent. Both of those guys at the top of the charts. Anthony Promoto. All the normal people we would normally expect to see up there are up there every single week. Now this is another one of those tracks that falls right into Anthony Promoto's wheelhouse. He is a tire saving machine. Same way with Russ. This is actually Russ's favorite racetrack. So I look for both of those guys to be there at the end up front. Definitely battling for a win tonight. Of course, Channing, Jordan, Hunter, Kaysen, even Jimmy Babb. Jimmy Babb likes this track, so it's definitely a crapshoot of who could possibly win tonight. It's definitely going to be whoever can save the tires the most. See Mr. Russ Bobert there, getting it around the track. Then no laps to try to get that last bit of fine tuning out. So here in about 5 minutes we should be getting ready to go to red flag, so we can get qualifying out of the way. Definitely one of those tracks that can sneak up and bite you. The way these corners are, it's very easy with the progressive banking. Very easy to unload the truck if you exit the corner at the wrong place and get into the gas. And we all know what happens when you do that. That rear end likes to come right around. So probably looking at about 10 laps or so to go. These guys get this last bit of adjustments out. We'll head on into qualifying. It looks like Jim Johnson got him a new paint job tonight. That's an interesting look for Jim. That shiny chrome blue on there, man. That's pretty. I like that. So Jim must have retired his Tron scheme. I always thought his truck reminded me of Tron. That's for the older people that know what I'm talking about. Ryan Lang will be another one to look at tonight. Ryan's always tough on tracks like this that you actually have to take a little bit of skill to get around instead of just going fast and turning left. Still waiting for Kaysen to come into his own here. I've known Kaysen for a long time. Good old boy. To Joe Zader, one of our series sponsors, Deepa Towing. Marco Starks making a showing tonight. Marco runs a part-time schedule in the series. Another one of my illegitimate sons, Hunter Kent. Hunter's another one that I've known for a while. Both Hunter and Case and both. We were all on a team together at one time. If you're in Alabama, need any dirt work done, definitely look up Kent Earthworks. I think you can see that on the back of his truck there, back quarter panel. Hunter's an avid hunter. You can actually find him on YouTube. I think he's got Twitch and pretty much every social media that you can find for Hunter Farms, I believe is what it is. But they have some amazing hunts and stuff that they schedule and do for people. Excuse me. Alright, so getting ready to come to about 2 to go here. Last couple laps out, and then see who walks away with the pole for tonight's race. Since the start of practice here, I've noticed that the track temperature's going up a little bit. Depending on how that goes as the racing goes on. That may make it interesting, slicking up the track a little bit. These guys have to wheel these trucks, put on a good show. And ladies, this hunt. There you have it. See who decides to head out onto the track first. Make that run. So it looks like it's gonna be two truck. Mr. Bailey Dutton's gonna be the first one out on the track. Make his qualifying run. Alright, let's see what Bailey can turn out for us. Running that high side coming to the green flag. Get a good shot of that Team Conti truck going down the back straightaway. Dips down to the bottom in 3 and 4. See how that first lap turns out. Right, so he lays down a 32.96. It's gonna see who's gonna come in behind him here. They can back it up. Hunt pops on the board with a 35. Rachel Hunt with a 33.20. And Brent Bailey's second lap didn't quite get him there where he needed to be, so that first lap stands at a 32.96. Nick Holzlander almost edges him, not quite, off by a couple 100s with a 32.98. Pretty much almost everybody seems to be getting their fastest lap on the first lap. And looks like Ron Thompson went out a little bit slower, so I don't know if he threw that first lap away to try to get some speed up that second lap. Rachel Hunt comes in 5th place with a 33.20. Jeremy Paris with a 33.32. Cody Morgan got him a top 10 right now. Our points leader, Channing Ballou. Let's see what Channing can run. First lap was a 3:03. See if his second lap's going to be any better. Second lap doesn't get him any better. Pretty much seems like everybody's first lap has been their fastest one. Track's a little abrasive, so that second lap probably wasn't quite there. Jerry Cochran. That's a new name. He must be a new driver. Or if he has, he's not. He's only run maybe a couple races. I'm not really familiar with Jerry. Welcome him to the series. All right. So it looks like Hunter Kent is going to actually come in at the last moment and turn a 94 to gain his first pole of the season. Good run for Hunter. So they're going to line up now for a quick driver's meeting and a quick warm-up. And then we should be able to get this race on the way. So once they finish with the driver's meeting, we'll pull our pole winner up into the booth, get a few words from him, since it's his first pole with us. Right, they should be able to finish that up. As soon as they roll off pit road, we'll pull him in the booth and see what he has to say. Right, let's be talking about some serious stuff here. This one's taking a little bit of time. Apologize. I'll be done here shortly. Everybody's getting a little antsy here, trying to get those last couple laps of warm-up, that last little bit of adjustment made. And there you have it. There's our qualifying results. Alright, so let's see if we can pull Hunter up into the booth and get a word with him here. Hunter Kent, it's Jim Walden up in the booth. How you doing, man? Hunter, you there? Hunter. He may have his mic off, I'm not sure. So we'll move him down there with the rest of his team. And we'll try to get a word with him later, okay? Alright, so back to the top of the board. Channing Ballou on this little warm-up. Another couple more laps. They'll get these last little bit of adjustments out, and then we will be going green from Homestead Miami Speedway. right, and there you have it. All right, let's get them gridded up tonight. So tonight, for Homestead Miami Speedway, third race from the end of the season for the V-Speed Contender Series, we have Mr. Hunter Kent on the pole with a 32.94. We have Bailey Dutton starting on the outside, just a couple thousandths just behind him. Nick Hulslander starting in third. Case and Plot starting in fourth. Channing Ballou starting in fifth. Brinson Hunt in sixth. Jerry Cochran in seventh. Rachel Hunt in eighth. Todd Cray in ninth. Jeremy Paris in 10th. Jordan Martin in 11th. Tim Marlowe in 12th. Ron Thompson in 13th. Of course, Ron is one of our previous season champions last season. Cody Morgan starting 14th. Shane Posey starting 15th. Anthony Promoto, another one of our past champions, starting 16th. Mr. Russ Bover starting 17th. Jim Johnson starting 18th. Ryan Lang starting 19th. Timmy Logwood starting 20th. Mr. Joe Zader, one of our series sponsors, starting in 21st. The boss man himself, Doc Stout, starting in 22nd. Mr. Jimmy Babb, another representative from one of our sponsors, starting in 23rd. DeMarco Starks starting in 24th. Doug Chappelle in 25th. And Ricky Williams in 26th. All right. So the Chevrolet Pace truck's bringing them around. Hunter's going to... All right, the Pace truck is off.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag. Looks like Hunter and Channing both get a good start. Looks like the second row, Nick Hulslander seems to get a good start and is able to push Hunter down into the corner.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
We already have a casualty. All right, let's see if we can figure out what happened here. All right, so we're going to ride along with Mr. Todd Cray. To get that green flag. They get down into the corner. Let's just see what happens here. Stacked up a little bit, maybe. It's like Todd may be chasing it up the track a little bit. Not sure if he got loose. That got him into Jeremy Parrish, which turned him right into Rachel. So just definitely wrong place, wrong time for Rachel Hunt and Jeremy Parrish. So back up front with Hunter Kent here. Of course, we didn't even really get the race started there, so I hope that is not a sign of things to come for tonight. So this is a quickie yellow, so just got the one to go. Lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to take another whack at it here. It looked like the 81 truck Tim Marlowe decided to come in. 7 truck of Timmy Longwood decided to come in. 4 truck of DeMarco Starks came in. I think they may have come in and maybe topped off. I'm not really sure. So maybe this is a strategy move, and you may see those guys up front a little bit later on. All right. Pace truck's getting ready to dip off the track here, and we're going to re-rack them and try it again.
Green, green, green.
All right, and Hunter Kent gets a really good start this time. He's able to get out front. And definitely control going into the first corner here. But Bailey was able to dip on in behind him there. And that sure is a lot of Team Conti trucks up front. Of course, Hunter doesn't have Team Conti on his truck, but he does hang out with all of those guys and works with them closely. So we have Hunter Kent leading that first lap. Haley Dutton in second. Channing Ballou in third. He's kind of getting single filed out here already, playing a little nice. In it for the long haul here. Got Nick Holzlander back there in 4. Brinson Hunt in 5th. Casey Plott in 6th. My man, Jordan Martin in 7th. Soon to be a daddy. Got a little one on the way. I know he's happy about that. I just had my first grandkid myself, so nothing like having those kids around to help brighten the day sometimes. It's like the newcomer there, Jerry Cochran, currently running 8th with the previous season champion Ron Thompson right behind him. And then the tire-saving king himself, Mr. Anthony Promoter, rounding out that top 10. So it looks like Hunter's done settled in here and setting a good pace. A little further back in the pack here, we have Mr. Shane Posey, still running right there with the rest of this top 10 and 11th. Russ Bovair a little bit back from that in 12th. Mr. Joe Zader right behind him. Brian Lang right there with Joe. Cody Morgan right with Brian. Jim Johnson and Doc right there together. Tim Marlowe's back a little ways. Looks like he's duking it out with Jimmy Babb. Timmy Longwood. Looks like DeMarco Stark's coming in the picture here. Doug Chappelle a little bit behind them. And Todd Cray, of course, he was involved in that first wreck, so he's got a little bit of damage. I don't think it's that bad, but it's enough to where he's getting ready to go a lap down. And Hunter Kent's not far behind him. Looks like Rachel's actually out. Jeremy Paris is out. And Todd's actually 4 laps down. Alright, looks like while we were looking away there, Channing Ballew's making a bid for that second place. Move on Bailey Dutton trying to get underneath of him. And he's able to make that pass. Let's see if he can catch Hunter. See if that dirty air is going to play a factor in him. Still pretty much single file. Not a whole lot of racing. Not sure what happened to Shane. Shane may have dropped. Not really sure. It looks like we lost Shane Posey. Oh, no, there he is. Must be blinking a little bit. Yeah, he got a little bit of blinking going on there. Yeah, he's blinking bad. Meanwhile, up front, Mr. Hunter Kent leading the first 15 laps of the race tonight. Channing Ballew in second. Haley Dutton in third. So while we're on this green flag run, let's pay tribute to one of our sponsors, Mr. Andre Greer at FRT Motorsports. There you have it. We appreciate your support there, Mr. Greer. While we're away, it looks like we got a battle for the lead. Channing Ballew is going to try to take over that front spot from Hunter Kent, and it looks like he's able to make that pass. Now, at the beginning of the season, Channing was on fire. He was pretty much winning every week. And then he ran through a little bit of a rough patch. And granted, he was finishing up front. Just couldn't seem to get those wins out. Looks like he may change that tonight. So after 20 laps now, we have a new leader, Channing Ballou, leading. Hunter Kent in second, Bailey Dutton in third, Nick Hulslander in fourth, Kason Plott in fifth, Jordan Martin in sixth, Anthony Promoter in seventh, Brenson Hunt in eighth, Jeremy Cochran in ninth, and Russ Bovair bringing up the top 10. Looks like we got a little bit of racing going on back here with. It's like Jordan Martin was able to get around Kason Plott for that fifth position. Like he's going to start his march to the front, and it's like Anthony Promoter's got his sights set on Kason now. Brenson Hunt and Jim Johnson in tow. Like back here we got Cody Morgan, Ryan Lang, and Jim Johnson going at it. Cody's done gone up to that high line. Get a peek out his windshield here, see what it's like to go down the backstretch at Homestead, Miami. Back up front, got Todd Craig trying to stay on the lead lap, or trying to keep him going another lap down. Currently 4 laps down. But he's the only truck that is any laps down. So if there does happen to be a caution, it'll be to get a lucky dog. You can see everybody seems to be just spread out at this point. We got a good ways before they need to pit. Back to our leader. So as you can see right now, from first to fifth, you can see that Jordan's actually catching that leader. So he's done saved those tires a little bit. So we should see those guys up front here probably by the time it's before the pit stops come around, that's for sure. So now that Cheney's got around Hunter, he's then put about a second and a half on him. Then, of course, Hunter.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
All right, so it looks like have that first or second caution here. See if we can figure out what happened. All right, so it looks like we have Cody Morgan and Ryan Lang coming out of 4. It's like Cody got a little loose. Ryan got a little loose. They got into each other. Oh, looks like Ryan just got loose and just couldn't save it and got into Cody and caused them both to go around there. Right, doesn't look like anybody else was involved, so shouldn't be that bad. Damage doesn't look that bad. It should be able to get most of it fixed. Right, so pit stops. Everybody come in and get some fresh feet. Some Sunoco racing fuel, and we'll be back on our way. And it looks like Channing Ballou is going to win that race off of pit road. There's no change in the first, at least for the first 6 spots. So during that run, we had a couple big movers. We had Joe Zader that picked up 10 spots from 21st to 11th. We had Russ Bovair pick up 7 spots from 17th to 10th. We had Anthony Promoter pick up 10 spots from 16th to 6th. And we had, let's see here, Jordan went from 11th to 5th. Definitely had some big movers in that group. Since we are under caution, let's go ahead and send some love to our other sponsor, Mr. Joe Zader from Nipa Towing. Mr. Joe Zader at Nipa Towing. So if you're in the Pennsylvania area and need something towed or hauled off, or any kind of recovery efforts, just look up Nipa Towing and Recovery, and they should be able to take care of all of those needs for you. So we're back to 1 to go. Lights are out on the pace truck. Channing Ballou, they chose the outside line for the start. So entering into 3 and 4 here, pace truck should dip off. Channing will bring him to the green. Alright. Pace truck is off.
Green, green, green.
There you have it. Channing gets a good start. He should be able to control this entry into 1. He's able to get down to the line and take that first position, or keep that first position. Hunter was able to retain second. Bailey was able to retain third. So pretty much back to single file at this point until later on in that run. Of course, Cody Morgan and Ryan Lang were in that wreck and caused the caution. So Todd Creed did get the lucky dog, so he is back to only 3 laps down at this point. So it looks like Jordan Martin's moving up here to try to make Nick Hulslander work for his position. Looks like Jordan's got another new paint. Maybe it's an old one that he just don't run all the time. But still sharp all the same. Traditional style. I like it. Meanwhile, Case is back here saving a little tire, not pushing it quite as hard. Now Anthony Promoter's got a little bit better track position now. Just kind of creeps up there, and next thing you know, he's right there at the end like last week. He was coming on strong last week. If they had another 5 or 10 laps, I think Anthony would have been definitely challenging for the win. And of course, Jim Johnson, Brinson Hunt, Tim Marlowe, Russ Bovair, Joe Zader, all these guys running here together. Looks like old Jimmy Babden snuck back up into the picture. Jimmy running 15th right behind Timmy Logwood. Still wrapping that bottom. A mayor of Rotatorville. Jimmy can definitely make him turn, that's for sure. Back up front and still in control. Channing Palou. Got almost a second on Hunter Kent now. Out there in that clean air. Hunter's got Bailey right there with him. Last week's winner. And our second place in points. Bailey's definitely trying to make up those points, close that gap on Channing for that points championship. It's like Todd's coming into the pits. Not sure if he is just having issues or still just his damage is too much. I mean, I didn't look like his truck is that badly damaged. but you never know. Not sure if maybe he didn't take tires that last go round, but that's definitely going to put him back down to 4 laps down. All right. Back up front, Mr. Channing Ballou still. Looks like the battle for second starting to heat up a little bit with Hunter and Bailey. Looks like Bailey's hunting around trying to find the best spot to make his move here. Trying to find some clean air. See if he can get that run. Back here, that battle's still going on with Nick and Jordan. Looks like Kaysen's coming into the mix now. He's trying to make a move on Jordan. While Anthony Promoter is also coming into the picture. And he's getting that killer run off that high side there. Going on with these guys. He was able to get by Jordan and now sets his sights on Nick. Yes, they know that they're going to let Channing get out a little bit too far there to see if they can make up some of that time. Jeremy Cochran's putting in a good race tonight too. Been running up front here in the top 10 all night long. Right, and at halfway, we have Channing Ballou out front with Hunter Kent in second, Bailey Dutton in third, Nick Holzlander in fourth, Kaysen Plott in fifth, Anthony Promoter in sixth, Jeremy Cochran in seventh, Jordan Martin in eighth, Tim Marlowe in ninth, and Brenson Hunt round out the top 10. Look at your leader go around here. Definitely setting a good pace. Able to continue to extend that lead over Hunter. Just a little over a second. Looks like Channing may be back into those old winning ways. Or will we have a strategy call at the end of the race that may bring us a new winner? Stay tuned and we will find out. So this time around, let's take a lap with our leader here and see what it's like to run around here from the lead at homestand Miami. It's down to that white line. Let's wrap on around. Trying to stay on that line as long as he can so he can get a straight shot up off the corner. Back down to that white line. The baby in that throttle coming up off the corner there. There you have it. That's how the fast guys do it. Alright, so still this race between Hunter and Bailey looks like it's kind of settled down for a little bit now. Hunter was able to get a couple truck links out on him. Now it looks like we're getting some racing going on back here though. These guys are still going at it hot and heavy. Looks like Case and Plot was able to get around Anthony Promoda, and then Jordan Martin was able to get back around. And they're all still trying to battle to get around Nick Holzlander. This has been a battle for a bunch of laps now. Oh, looks like Jordan Martin gets loose but is able to save it. That was a good save there. Almost took out Jeremy Cochran in the mix. Got a little bit too happy with the throttle on exit there. It'll definitely bite you if you let it. So that'll definitely free up this battle a little bit. Maybe give Kaysen a little more room now to see if he can work his way around Nick. Looks like Anthony Promoda's creeping back up into the picture now. We still got a bunch of racing going on back behind these guys. We have Ryan Lang's a lap down. We have Joe Zader creeping up on Tim Marlowe here, trying to take that position. And then Jimmy Babb right there with him. Jimmy was able to pass Tim Marlowe for that 12th spot. Now it looks like he's working on Jordan. Jordan looks like he's loose as a goose. He's still having trouble coming out of the corner. Jimmy's going to be able to make that pass. Now sets his sights on Jim Johnson. Looks like Jeremy Cochran got back up and is able to make a move on Kaysen to get around him for, this is for the 6th spot. Of course, trying to get back to where they were before. Had the little incident with Jordan getting loose. Now we're getting down towards the end of the race, and look who's coming into the picture. The other timer-saving master himself, Russ Bover. Baby Shark. Taking them little bites until he gets to take that big chomp at the end. Brenson Hunt was able to move right up through there with him as well. Meanwhile, back out front, we still have Channing Ballou is now put 2 seconds on second place Hunter Kent, and third place Bailey Dutton. Looks like we got a race for fourth here with Anthony Promoda and Nick. Anthony's able to catch back up to him. See if he can get some clean air to be able to get around Nick. It's like they keep trading corners off. One's better in one corner than the other, and then they switch at the next corner. Now Nick knows that Anthony's a little loose on that bottom there, so he's definitely going to pinch him down and make him loose to see if he can keep that position. But it looks like Anthony may be able to make that pass work. It comes back on the inside, trying to fight back. Definitely making Anthony work for it. And getting a little too loose, I believe, to run that top. So, but here we come. This little battle is allowing Jerry and Russ to catch up. This is going to be an interesting little battle here shortly. They are still duking it out. Looks like Russ is able to get around Jerry. Anthony's trying to make another move on Nick and let his tires cool down a little bit. See if he can make it stick this time. Nick's gonna pinch him down. Try to get him loose, which it does. Looks like Anthony's able to fight back a little bit better this time. Didn't quite send it in as hard. So that allowed Nick to go right back around him on the outside. Russ is going to try the bottom. Russ doesn't seem to be as loose on the bottom as Anthony is, so let's see if he got anything for Nick. Russ a little loose too. These guys are a little loosey-goosey. They all have about 37 laps on their tires, so I'm sure they are a little handful to drive right at the moment. .24 to go currently. Still have Channing Ballou out front. Hunter Kent in second. And Bailey Dutton in third. Now, Channing now currently has put almost 3 seconds on second place Hunter Kent. And then, of course, Hunter and Bailey are going at it. And as we're speaking, Bailey was able to make the pass on Hunter Kent for second place. Seems like every week, all 3 of these guys, or all 4 of these guys that are in the top 4 currently, are racing it out at the top, trying to get that win. Still back up front. Tim Marlowe, you just seen go around Nick. He's on fresher tires because he is 1 lap down. So it's like they're all making their pit stops now. 45 coming in. Jim Johnson's going to try to make a run on Nick at this point. Nick's got really loose right now, so Jim Johnson's a lap down and on new tires. Kason Platt's a lap down and on new tires. Looks like the one of Russ is peeling off to make a pit stop. Let's cover that pit stop for Russ. He's got the 72 with Jeremy Cochran right behind him as well. I think he's going to get 4 tires and some fuel. Yep, 4 tires and he should be on his way. Several cars on pit road. It looks like there's just a handful of people out front still that have not made their pit stops. Looks like probably the top 8. Meanwhile, still Channing Ballou up front, and he chooses to go ahead and peel off and make his pit stop. And Hunter Kent comes in right behind him. Now let's see if the number 1 pit stall helps out Hunter any at all. Make up any time on Channing. I don't think it's going to. If anything, it looks like let's see here. So Channing had about a 4/100ths or 4/10ths better stop, so it didn't help Hunter at all being in that first pit stall, like sometimes it does in real life. This is going to actually cycle Bailey Dutton to the lead. Now Bailey, Nick, Jordan, Doc, and Ron Thompson, they all have not pitted yet. So they are working off a whole nother strategy. Now we only have 17 to go, So there's not a whole lot of time to make up any time if something goes wrong. So Channing and Hunter both have made up their lap and are back on the lead lap now. So this is the longer that Bailey stays out there, the more time he's going to lose to those guys. Same way with Nick. Unless they are trying to stretch this to the end, which I do not think they can do. Even at that point, I still think those guys are going to have enough time to catch them and be there at the end. Alright, so with 15 to go, we have Bailey Dutton out front, Nick Holzlander in second, Jordan Martin in third, Mr. Doc Stout in fourth, Ron Thompson in fifth, Channing Ballou in sixth, Jim Johnson in seventh, Tim Marlowe in eighth, Kason Plott in ninth, and Anthony Promoter rounding out the top 10. Now, if Bailey can pull this off, that would be one heck of a strategy move. Now, currently, his last lap was a 35.95. The fastest lap, that past lap was Channing Ballou, and it was a 33.92, so 2 seconds faster. And there's 13 to go. So there's definitely time to catch him. Because he's only, let's see here, he's only 18 seconds behind him. So he can catch him in 8 laps, 9 laps, and then still give him a few laps to get around him. But I don't know if Bailey was hoping that he was going to catch a caution or what, but that truck has definitely got to be a handful to get around the track right now with 50 laps on the tires. And right now there are only 3 trucks on the track that have not pitted. That would be the first 3 trucks, which is Bailey Dutton, Nick Holzlander, and Jordan Martin. I take that back. Doc Stout has not pitted yet either. Bailey is shutting it off at this point, trying to save that fuel. I think he is going to run out of time, though. So right now, Channing's done cut that down to 14 seconds, but we only have 10 to go. So it is mathematically possible that Bailey may pull a three-peat on a strategy move by saving fuel. Right now, Channing's just a little bit over a straightaway behind. And still running right at 2 seconds a lap faster. So we have 9 to go. And he's, 14 seconds back. Bailey can keep it up, and God forbid there's no caution, then he just may pull it off. Coming back to 8 to go, and Channing has got it down to 10 seconds. Still at 2 seconds a lap. Got enough time to get there, but he has to get it past Bailey's teammate, Nick Holzlander, and then get by Bailey for the win. And right now, Channing has no body in front of him, so he has clean air. It's going to allow him to run as hard as he can to try to make up that time. And now he's a little over 9 seconds behind. 7 to go. Still about a second and a half faster. He's got enough time to get there. Just not sure if he has enough time to get around. Now we will find out if he is willing to give that old chrome horn to get there. Now behind them we still have a race going on. We have Anthony Promoda, Jim Johnson, and Jordan Martin. They were able to get around Hunter Kent. Hunter Kent's fallen off. He must have had some trouble with his pit stop, because he definitely was running way better or way further up front before that pit stop. So coming to 5 to go. Still have 2 truck of Bailey Dutton out front with about a 5.5 second lead over the freshest tires of Channing Ballou. There. Channing's only about a half a straightaway behind him now. So Channing is coming fast. Is Bailey going to be able to save enough fuel to get him to the end? Now, it looks like teammate Nick Holzlander is starting to come on at the end here. So maybe he saved enough to let him get to the end. All right. So we are coming back. The 3 to go with a 3 second lead over the hard charging Channing Ballou. Is he going to be able to catch him? Channing is running hard, so he's last lap is just a little over a second faster. And it looks like as we speak, Nick Holzlander is going to make that bid for the lead and go around Bailey on the outside. So coming to 2 to go. Nick Holzlander takes the lead. Could this be his first win of the season? Still have that lead over Channing. Channing now back 2 seconds with just a lap and a half. We are coming on the white flag, and it looks like Nick Holzlander is going to take the white flag, and still a little over a second and a half back to the hard charging Channing Ballou. They come up out of 2 and onto the back stretch. Still Nick Holzlander in first. And still Bailey Dutton in second. Channing's going to go to that high side to try to get that run. Looks like he ended the fence a little bit and gets a little loose. But he was able to keep it. And it's Nick Holzlander for the win. With Channing Ballou in second. And Bailey Dutton in third. All right, so we've had all three of these guys in the booth at the same time before, so this is definitely old hat for these guys. So give me a second. Let me get them rounded up and get them up in here into the booth. All right, fellas. You three guys seem to be making it a habit to come into my booth every week, man.
That's the goal.
So you guys like to flip it. Congratulations, Nick. I mean, is this your first win this season?
No.
Is it your second win? Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually interviewed you as the winner. I think you won one of the races that I wasn't here. Well, congratulations. I seen you kind of saving some fuel there behind him. Did you think you were going to run out, Bailey?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I knew I was going to run out. I was hoping it'd be on the front stretch.
I heard you cutting it off when you were going into the corner. I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely pushing it at this point. Channing was coming there at the end, man. I thought you were going to be able to catch him there for a minute, Channing. What else do you think you needed to try to get there?
Just pit 2 laps earlier.
Yeah, that you definitely lose a lot of time on the track when you don't pit at the same time with those guys. So, but yeah, just one of those things where you live and learn, right? Well, you guys are old hats at this, man. Any shout outs anybody want to give?
Team Conti like usual. We wouldn't be 1, 2, 3 almost weekly if it wasn't for them. Obviously you guys for streaming it. Doc for putting on the league, and yeah, that's about it, man. I didn't think that strat was gonna work, to be honest with you. I really thought there was gonna be a caution. That was not a fun race in my opinion. I don't like field mileage races, but I'll take a W.
I don't blame you there, man.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Bailey?
Yeah, Conti, everybody here for putting it on. Wish we had one more set. That would have really mixed it up. If we'd had one more set, I probably would have pitted. I was scared to pit, and then the caution come out and it bite me. So I tried the fuel strat, and it paid off.
Right.
But
how about you, Channing?
Yeah, man, I'm with them. You know, everybody over at Conti does a great job preparing these trucks, getting them fast, and putting us up front. But the big issue, we need another set of tires. You can't keep putting us in this tire lottery of having to save a set to have one at the end just in case of a caution. I mean, they don't do that in real life, so why are we doing it?
That's definitely for the powers that be. I have no control over that one, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Next year we'll get it.
Yeah. Well, at least at this point you were able to get by Bailey on that last lap there. I seen you getting a little sideways coming out of the corner, so that'll at least maybe give you another couple points on that points lead. So you still be in the lead in the points lead going into Martinsville next week. So.
Yeah, that place shouldn't be on the schedule either for sim racing, but you'll have fun up in the booth when we have 10, 15 cautions.
Well, I don't know how fun it is, but
not.
Yeah, try. Well, at least in Martinsville, it's not that big of a track that I need to go find the wreck to do the replay, so it ain't quite as bad there. But other than that, all right. Well, fellas, there's 2 races left. Got Martinsville and Phoenix, and then that will decide the championship. So, you guys ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Yep.
All right, good deal. All right, well, that does it for the V-Speed Contender Series at Homestead Miami Speedway. Have our winner, Nick Holzlander, second place, Channing Ballou, and Bailey Dutton. We shall see you on next week at Martinsville. Have a good night.